All right, guys, we are live here from Studio 700. This is Coach Lou on Corona. Um, I don't know what to tell you here, guys. We just got notification that our Savage race canceled tomorrow. Another cancellation, another cancellation, another cancellation. And I can say this, I can say in the best interest of your health, always take the best precautions you can as far as when there's any issues. And guys, I've got chat enabled on this today. If you want to chat in anything, please connect with me. Hit that chat button, send messages. Let's talk about this. I want to talk about number one, some precautions you can take. Number two, I want to talk about what this is doing to the economy and to a lot of businesses and what's happening out here. Number three, we want to talk a little bit about why viruses spread so rapidly and why certain groups of people tend to be afflicted more seriously by these viruses and what that means to you, whether that is your demographic of age, your eating habits, your health, your drinking habits, the use of chemicals, of drugs, whatever it is that you're doing with or without your body to either strengthen it or to weaken your body, let's face it, is going to have a huge impact over the next few weeks. We're already having a huge impact. Toilet paper, freaking really, guys? Running out of toilet paper. If we have this major pandemic that you think is coming to eat us alive and going to kill millions and millions of people, the last thing you're going to worry about is what you're wiping your ass with. Okay, we're getting into that mode of like we've done for how many years here in Florida. The storm is coming. 10 days, there's a little blip of a hurricane out there. 7 days, everything starts to shut down. Home Depot's lined up with boards and generators, and boom, 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 boom. And every single freaking time this happens, other than Hurricane Andrew, which was a massive hurricane, landed on Miami, right on the coast. None of them have been that severe. Yes, there's been damage, there's been death, there's been injury, etc. I get it. But this panic and pandemonium till you know exactly what's coming and what you're dealing with has got to slow up here a little bit. Everybody is in this massive panic. And I ask you a question, and I don't mean to do this in a fashion where it by any means diminishes anybody who's lost a loved one to this disease or is, fighting the illness themselves currently in a severe way. What I do mean is, there's people dying every single day. Had a little conversation, which I got a little heated with, and I usually try not to. I usually try to see all sides. Lady called me a fool because we're not closing everything down and closing down our businesses and, running around and hiding and, putting a bubble around our houses and so forth. I'm a fool because 2 people died of it recently. And I just came back to her with, 500 people died within the state of Florida, if not more, yesterday for alcohol-related deaths, whether it was what it did to their body, whether they were killed in car crashes, whether they simply drank themselves to death or drug-related deaths. And I said, so let's go wrap up the liquor stores and shut them down and padlock them and take all the beer out of 7-Eleven and put breathalyzers in every single car so people can't drive if they've been drinking. Now, if we're going to keep alcohol legal, why don't we do that? That would be the smartest thing to do. Nobody cares if you want to go have some drinks. Just don't get behind the wheel and kill somebody else's kid that doesn't deserve to die, right? And we're with me on this? But I said, and her response to me was, that's self-inflicted. I said, so you go tell that to a parent who lost a child last night in a DUI crash that was totally somebody else's fault or lost a loved one, and tell them that their loss of their loved one was self-inflicted. All right. Let's grow the fuck up, people. Excuse my language, but that kind of mentality is where we run into some of the problems we're having. Now, I'm not here bashing, taking some precautions on this virus and stuff, guys. We don't know 100% what we're dealing with, et cetera. But, HIV's been around for a long time, and that has taken millions of lives. that has damaged and destroyed millions of lives. And nobody ever stopped. They said, hey, throw on some condoms and, stop having sex. But they didn't, shut down businesses and races and shut down, government transportation and travel. Do I think it would be silly to go out of the country right now into other countries, which obviously have a larger healthcare problem than we do, because that's where 90% of this shit originates? No, I don't think we should be going in and out of the country right now. But I also don't think that is something that you can necessarily mandate, that you make a decision for me or I make that decision for you. However, I do believe if you choose to go out of the country and return in right now, that if you were to sit in quarantine for the 6 or 7 days that this thing takes to show up and have to be tested to come back in, I would agree with that. And if I felt like leaving the country, I would submit to that. Honestly, I don't feel like leaving the country right now. I happen to like our country. I happen to love our country. And if you notice, there's always something when we get on a roll, and we have been on an economic roll. And I don't care what affiliation you are really right now. We're all one country bound together. But whenever we get on a financial roll where things are going good and business is going good and we're getting stuff handled, there's always something that comes up. Either the gas prices skyrocket because a little war breaks out in the Mideast and the oil prices go up, or there's there's been a lot of publications and people have been publishing them, and I'm not living on social media for the purpose of reading terror. But, there's been some correlation to every time the economy gets great, there's a new virus, a new problem, a new situation, a new this, a new that levels it out. And I get it. The stock market can't continue to skyrocket. Real estate prices, the little 2-bedroom homes here in Orlando are once again not worth the $385,000 that people think they're worth. I get you got to cap it, but there's better ways to do it than to create this media frenzy. And let me tell you something about the media. Yeah, and I am on a rant about this, guys. The media is over sensationalizing, and I realize that's how they get ratings. But when we stop tolerating that, the media is to report the news, report the facts, not their opinions, or they need to state their opinions. I'm telling you, this is my opinion. And this is a media environment, and I'm putting this out as a media event right here. Some of this is my opinion. I am not the CDC. But who knows who is the CDC? Who really, really knows what this virus is? Who really knows what it's capable of? Somebody, maybe. I think there's a lot of question around it. I think there's a lot of people that have had it and thought they had a cold. Who the hell out there? Raise your hand. Send me a message if you had that nasty cold that was going around Christmas and New Year's that lagged on with the cough and the headaches and the eye pain for like 4 to 6 weeks. I was fortunate. I had it for 48 hours. I ate gobbled down my oregano oil and hemp seed oil and stuff like that, and sweated it out, and I averted a nasty flu or cold, whatever it was. A lot of people have been sick for an extended period of time. So if you think that that's not this mysterious corona that, maybe isn't so dangerous to the masses. Somebody released something today, said 1 million people are going to die in the United States. Bullshit. If they starve themselves to death because everybody hoards stuff and freaks out and everybody starts ending up homeless and walking on the streets. Because let me tell you something. Everybody, it's shut your businesses down. Don't have public gatherings. Don't do this. Don't do that. Yeah, shut it down. All right, let's not pay the rent. Let's not pay the rent on this facility at the end of the month. I love our management company. I love the owner of this property that we lease all this space from. He's an amazing dude, amazing group of people. See what happens if I don't write my rent checks at the end of the month. There will be no auctions. There will be no coaching. There'll still be a show because that can go remote from anywhere. There will be no gym time because they're not going to sit there and go, oh, it's okay. They're going to go pay or get out. Well, that's going to happen in a lot of places. And if we don't get out and they don't get more tenants and they don't pay the bank's going to own it. The banks are going to go upside down. The government's going to bail out the banks. The government's going to own the banks, and they're going to own all the real estate. And guess what? There's your socialist nation in a nutshell. You want a recipe for it, guys? Stop supporting your local businesses. Stop supporting each other. Am I saying being foolish? And, no, I think that we need to take some serious precautions. Now, I offer you a school of thought. Everybody's walking around lysoling everything and killing it. And, we've seen something happen time and time again with viral. We've seen them mutate. The flu virus, this virus, that virus in the hospitals. What's the famous one? Staph. Oh, wow. Staph becomes resistant to the cleaning supplies, resistant to the antibiotics, resistant to, because if you do so much that we're never going to sterilize everything. We have that biome around us, which is there for a reason. We all have touched staph today. We all have come in contact with possibly corona today. We've all come in contact with the flu virus today. Here's where we're going to go into that little part 3 that I was talking about here. It's being healthy on the inside, having a strong immune system. The difference is, and everybody's screaming about Italy. Yeah, they've got a higher death rate than everybody else. But did you ever realize that when you do run the stats on Italy, they have an older, unhealthier older population, a greater number in percentage-wise compared to our country. There are more people of an older age there. Italy seems like an amazing place. I love all my Italian friends out there. But let me tell you something, eating pasta and drinking wine and stuff like that, and some of the tomatoes and the lectins and some of the foods, although the Mediterranean diet, like olive oil and stuff like that, is good, there's a lot of foods that they intake that are not necessarily the most productive, healthy for the body. And let's face it, if the body's not as healthy, it's not going to fend off as much. Can I guarantee you just juice, eat clean, and work out, and you're not going to get corona? I wish I could tell you that's the case. Can I tell you that they have already said, and the CDC and everybody else has already said, that, well, most of the people won't die from this if they're healthy and they're in a certain age group, etc. Well, what does that tell you if you're healthy? Well, you might say, well, I'm a little compromised. Yeah, you might be. Step it up, clean up your diet, clean up your health, clean up your environment. If you smoke, put the shit down. That kicks down your immune system. If you're consuming lots and lots of processed sugars, put the shit down. One Starbucks latte with 3 pumps of whatever sugary flavor in it compromises your immune system by up to 60% for up to 5 hours. That's how serious that is. Now, do you think if you come across this little creepy crawly corona in that state that you are going to have an issue? You very well could. Your immune system is compromised by over half. Do you think if your immune system's strong, boosted up, that you've got a better chance of avoiding it? Yes. Am I saying that we put our heads in the sand and act like this thing isn't happening? No, it's out there. But take proactive rather than reactive action. We are in some instances, one of the facilities I'm contracted with has reduced massively the amount of people that'll be there, but found a way to do business as usual in the process of this in a more digital format and not missing too much of a beat. It might be a little offbeat, a little bit different, but we found a way around that. Canceling the race tomorrow, I've got to stand by Savage because I've stood by their ethics and the way they run their races. They're one of the elite. I don't know if I would have done that because of the environment of people and the level of fitness and the group of people that would have been attending that. Plus, it's outdoors, etc. I don't know if I would have made that call. I would have shown up and raced tomorrow. But they made that call, so we're going to stand by them on that. Do we reduce the exposure? Yes. Don't be stupid. Don't go to a rave where everybody's kissing each other and, doing drugs and it's a free-for-all and, everybody's all over each other and packed in a little building. Probably not the time to be doing that. Don't go buy up all the toilet paper. Did I mention that before? Please. That's a really shitty thing to do. because nobody's going to pay you $10,000 a roll for toilet paper, guys. Stock up a little extra water, have a little extra food on hand in case the stores close. People are knee jerking. You might find tomorrow we wake up and, everybody's ordered every single, grocery store closed. Would probably be a bad thing. But, pick your battles wisely when it comes to this, and be careful, because there's been a rumor, I don't know what you want to call it, that there's already a vaccine and a cure for this corona, and that it's 45 days from being released, and everybody will be able to get it. But they have it. It's already there, but they got to do the testing. There's been a lot of really important cutting edge medical over the years, guys, that has proven to work, or even not even medical. There's been supplements and stuff like that, and things people have come up with that are proven to treat diseases. And they go through an 8 to 10 year process, and a lot of them disappear in the process of it, and don't ever make it, and don't ever have the fortitude to follow through, the money to follow through, etc. And we're going to, in 45 days, release something this new, and they're going to want to tell you that everybody needs to get injected with this stuff that has 45 days testing, if that. Or was it already there because we knew this was coming? Not to be a conspiracist, but there's been a lot of talk about some reasons why this may have occurred, not from within our country, but in other places, for some underlying reasons to create some change. Now, do we want to believe that and get into all that idea of the conspiracy theories? I'm not trying to steer you there. I am trying to tell you, take full 100% control of your health care, and understand that this vaccine or cure for this coronavirus is brand spanking new, and a 45-day period to test something you're going to put inside of your body doesn't cut it with me. So make your own decisions. Nobody can force you. What you can do starting right now, if you got a pack of cigarettes there, sweep them into the garbage. Kills your immune system. If you got sugary garbage that you eat every day and you're eating a bunch of processed sugars, sweep it into the garbage, trade it for some clean food. If you sit on your ass all day long and you don't exercise, start moving your body, get outside. The best thing is, let's face it, get out and do some exercise outside and stuff if you're afraid to go in group stuff, because chances are, if you're out and there's nobody near you, you're a whole lot less apt to come in contact with something than you are indoors. Wash. My God, how long have we been saying this? Since we've been kids. How many times a week? And I'm around lots of people, and it's a wonder I'm not sick with colds and that a whole lot more. That's because of taking care of what's within inside. But I see people walk in, do their business, and walk right back out of the bathroom. And then they're hugging people, shaking hands, even fist bumping. And you're going, how about washing the hands? That's common sense. Now everybody's like, oh, you got to wash your hands for 45 seconds and and all this antibacterial and Okay. We should have been doing this in the first place. Should have been washing your hands. And the most important part of the washing of the hands is the rubbing that breaks the bacteria and the viruses down and squishes them. It's like squishing grapes. If you're going to take a grape and you're going to go like that for long enough, there's not going to be much left of it. It's not going to be a functioning grape when you're done with it. You know what I mean? So I'm not here to say, stick your head in the sand and ignore that there's a challenge going on. I am here to say, if you start leaving your local businesses hanging, your local small business people hanging, if you sit there and glue yourself to the TV and all you can talk about is this virus, and you stop focusing on growth and growing your businesses and doing your best for your jobs and your families, and you sit there like we do in front of every damn hurricane approaching, you are going to sit here and throw weeks of your life away. Now, let's face it, if this were the disease to end all diseases and end all the world and we're all dead in a month, Do you want to sit here on social media and watching the TV with masks on and, stop living if that were the case? Or would you live your life out? What if you knew this was the end point? Honestly, would you just sit there and talk about it, or would you step up and do things you haven't done? Not saying be careless, guys. I am saying this is not the end of the world as we know it, unless we allow it. And take that warning very clearly. If you go hide and you go live in a bunker for 3-4 weeks, 2-3 months, half of a year, you're going to come out. It's not going to be like it is. You're not going to be free. You're not going to be able to make your own choices. The whole world will change if you go bunker yourself down for any length of time. Be cautious, be careful, take care of the body, take care of your immune system. If you're immune compromised and you do have a disease that's, beyond your control, stay away from people. It'd probably be a good idea anyway, because the flu can kill somebody in that condition. If you've got a relative who's, immune compromised or very old or babies and you're feeling sick, stay away from them. If you're sick, stay home for a couple of days, get yourself better, but don't immediately think, oh my God, I got a cold, I'm going to die. We are in the cold and flu season. Thank God we're coming out of it, at least here in Florida. But, now this comes up. Take care of you, take care of the environment. I'm going to go back to the garbage strike before I sign off with you. And I know this sounds like a rant, but I want to make sure we don't destroy everything we've worked so hard for in 2020 to create. We don't take it down in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks and crush our entire economy, our entire country, and then sit there and go, oh my God, that was all a big farce. Now, I don't know if it's a farce, but I ask you this. Do you know anybody personally who has the coronavirus? For sure. Do you know personally of somebody who's got it in your community? Do you know for a fact that it's this epidemic that's going to spread like leprosy? Do you know for a fact that, I know this for a fact, if you go and hunker yourself down for 3-4 weeks in your house at the end of the month, when you haven't worked, unless you're fortunate enough to be able to work from home, and your landlord comes along or your mortgage company comes along and says they want to get paid, and the electric company, I guarantee you, Duke Energy is not going to say, oh, we know you guys had, lack of business this month. You don't have to pay the bill. We're going to comp it. And, our landlord's going to comp the rent, and let's see, and the water, and, the city and sales tax commission's going to say, just keep those sales taxes you collected last month. It's our way of helping you out, you small business owners. And, I'm sure that if you folks are working for a company, unless it's a massive, massive company, if you're told not to come into work for 2-3 weeks, probably most of you aren't going to take home a full paycheck. There may be some, and God bless those companies that are in that position to do that and are willing to do that for their people. But understand that if you shut down everything, you are shutting down everything. This is going to have a ripple effect that will not be recoverable anytime soon. So chill out, guys. Let's be smart, keep it clean, keep your distance, it might not be the time to be the most huggy. Might not be the time to go out and have a one-night stand at the bar. Just saying. Might not even be the time to go to the bar. That might not be the best environment, because there again, the alcohol, smoke, etc., is going to drop your immune system. So if you're going to boycott something, boycott the news media that's over sensationalizing. Stay off the booze, stay off the sugary treats, stay the hell off the tobacco. I mean, there's no reason for that. And, and use some common sense, wash your hands, and continue to be supportive of your local businesses. Let's support each other through this. If you know a family in need that needs something that, they got kids and they're out of work because their place of business where they work closed and didn't care, or maybe didn't care. Some businesses can't pay their people if they're not doing business. So, understand that too. They're not dirty bastards if there's no money in the account to pay their employees because they did no business that week because nobody's going there. Understand that doesn't make that business owner a dirty bastard. That makes that business owner broke. Now you've taken an employer out. You've taken a business out. You've taken families out by fear. So we always say fear is false evidence that appears real. Now, there's some evidence out there that this thing is real. I don't think it's as real as the news is trying to make it. I don't think it's this million mortality rate in the United States of America, unless we make it that way. But I do say you've got to watch that it doesn't take down your entire life just because of this. It's the same when we have a hurricane that suddenly makes a U-turn 2 days before and everybody's boarded up and spent millions of dollars on generators. And then they're mad when, Home Depot says they don't want them back. Keep the damn thing for next time. Same thing with, y'all that have bought tons of toilet paper. Yeah, you can wipe your ass for a lot of years when this is all over. Don't try to take it back because that's not fair to the retailer either. You made the choice to buy it, keep it. Although if you want to return some so we can get a few packs, that's okay. You know where I'm going with this, guys. You know that I approach things on a very real basis. I absolutely love people. I love our country. I love people of all different walks of life, all different ethnicities, all different everything. I believe that human beings all have a God-given right to life on the face of this earth and to make their own decisions. I don't believe in freeloading. I don't believe in doing things the wrong way. I believe in doing things the right way. But I believe if you're doing things the right way, that you have a right to your freedoms and you have a right to live. Everybody should have a right to eat, but you should have the right to work to earn that food. So my whole point to this is, nobody should have to crash and burn because of this. But don't let it be a point in life where you lose your ability to make your own choices, to make your own life, and to be able to do what you do best. Don't let this scare take you down at the knees. Be cautious. Yes, use a little extra smarts. Don't be dumb. Don't be an idiot. Don't go out and go, oh, I think I got a cold and cough all over people and go, it's okay. I'm going to show up for work anyway, sick. No, if you're sick, stay home. Get yourself checked out. But most importantly, again, drop the damn cigarettes if you're smoking. Stay off the hooch for a few days. I'm talking about booze. Your other hooch, whatever, do it. No, you stay off the booze. Stay off the processed sugars and keep your environment clean. Keep yourself clean, but don't put the entire brakes on a whole world because there's a virus that could kill you. Many of them could kill you, but let's find out more facts, and your facts are not going to come from me as far as the actual workings of this virus. I am not working in a lab at the CDC. What I am telling you is I personally know of nobody who has the virus. I know of nobody personally who has a family member who has the virus. And I know a lot of people. Yes, there are some people that are walking around with this virus. There are some sick people, and my heart goes out to them. And God bless you, and prayers for your recovery, quick recovery. But people, watch your step with what you're letting happen out here. Watch your step, keep it clean, but just make sure you don't wake up in 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months if this fear takes over in the pandemonium and go, I have nowhere to live, I have no job, I have no business, and my whole world and everything has been wiped out as we know it. And a couple thousand people caught this virus that were in the high risk group and died, and our whole country has been taken to its knees and crippled because of it. I'm telling you, keep your eyes open, make your own decisions, and step up, keep that passion, spread the word, not the germ. Spread the word that we're going to be okay. Keep it positive, and also keep on doing what you do in everyday life. Those of you, and I belong to some amazing groups of people, those of you in our KBB groups and our Firewalker groups and that are always spreading positive and joy and growth, don't stop doing that. If you own a business, don't shut your business down, but do take some precautions. Hey, guess what? We do use our normal doTERRA cleaners in the gym, I'm not a fan of this stuff necessarily, but we have it because you know what? We are wiping down the dumbbells. We are wiping down anywhere of contact with the extra potent stuff. Now, our natural cleaners are just as good, but we're double doing it. We're double doing it. We've never had anybody come in and go, oh my God, I got sick from being in your gym. So on a last note, we are open business as usual. Anybody give me a test here on the chat? Because I've gotten nothing. But I don't know if that is because I'm broadcasting to multiple channels. Where was I? Oh, yeah, business as usual here at the gym. We are taking extra precautions. We're not idiots. I'm not an idiot that's going to go, nothing's wrong, Pollyanna, boop, boop, boop. I'm going to tell you, so, there's some crap out there, and we got to be careful. We are open business as usual. We are open business as usual for our auctions, our weekly auctions. Next week we have 2. If you're sick and you're concerned about coming in because you're sick, get in. We'll get you a preview, walkthrough preview. You can leave bids and we'll bid for you. I mean, I have no problem doing that. If you're really that concerned about coming in, we can do that for you as well. If you're somebody who is in a higher risk group, we're still going to run full force forward, but we can handle that for you as we do if you go out of town. You guys know when you go out of town, you leave us bids, or if you got to work or something. No different. We're not going to stop the business, but we are taking extra precautions. We are doing extra cleaning. We're doing the extra 9 yards to make sure that you are safe. I'm going up and above and beyond what I normally would say to, just because I would rather be safe than sorry. But that doesn't mean closing our doors. Closing our doors is a good way to make sure you have nowhere to come back to in a month or two. And that we're not here. Closing our doors is not the option. Making sure our doors are cleaned and wiped is the option. Guys, God bless you all. Let's get through this. Let's get through this quickly. It is my sincere prayer that this is not that this is a, for lack of a better word, Chinese fire drill, because it started in China, that it's something that's going to pass very quickly, and we're going to do the same thing we do with the hurricanes, is go, well, that was relatively very inconvenient rather than a disaster. We don't want to see lives damaged and lots of health issues and people dying. No way. We don't want that. But let's, at this point, there is nothing to support that this is going to take 1 million lives like people are screaming on the media. And that kind of stuff should be shut down. Don't support the media hype. Support the facts. That's all I ask of you. Make your own decisions. And if your decision is to not come out of your house for a few weeks, that's fine. I'm not going to fault you for that. But don't be the first person going, hey, I need a handout to pay my rent at the end of the month. If you don't contribute to keeping this country going, we're all going to have to bite the bullet at some point. If we destroy our economy and damage our economy, we'll have to do our own recovery. So just remember, it's not the government's responsibility to bail out the banks, mortgage companies, your landlords, anybody else. It is our responsibility to continue to support our local businesses, support our country. And I will say this one last time, I don't give a shit what party you're from. If you like our president or you don't, you need to support each other all as Americans. If you live in this country, we step together, we face this as an American, no matter what color you are, whatever your last name is, what your political party is, what your beliefs are. If I don't agree with your beliefs, I still agree with the fact if you're an American, that you get my respect. But we got to band together on this and just do it the right way, guys, and put aside the bullshit for right now. And there is no blame. I can assure you Trump didn't create the virus. There's lots of rumors on who could have, but you know what? We may never know. But the deal is this. We got to band together, be America. If you don't want to be an American and you don't want to stand by each other and you don't want to support each other and keep this country going, please go somewhere else. It's that simple. If you don't love it here and you don't love this country enough to save it and band together right now, please feel free to exit the country. I don't know how else to say that. We've got one of the freest, most amazing countries in the world. And is it perfect? Hell no. Will it ever be perfect? Hell no. But it's a lot better than when you look at where most of the rest of the world lives in each and every day in the poverty out there. So step up, guys. Band together. Yeah, we can have our differences. We can have our little arguments. We can have our differences of opinions, but step up, be Americans. Let's take this virus on as Americans, not as this or that or the other. Okay. So that's what I ask of you. You need me, I'm here. You need coaching, I'm here. You need to go, hey, I do need to get my body in shape. I do need to get my health in order because I'm scared and I want to step up and learn. Reach out to me. I'll coach you. I don't care what party you belong to. I don't care who you are. I don't even care where you are in the world. Um, we're there to help. And we're going to get through this. Live with energy, faith, passion, always live your dreams. I know this has been a bit of a rant, but guys, we got to step up, band together, and do this together as Americans, as the United States of America. Each and every one of us make this country up. Let's do this. God bless y'all. Step up. Do it. Stay safe and healthy, please. We want to get up to the other side of next week and go, we beat this shit. We're good to go.